Hey guys, check out this bonus episode from our interview with Max Allyn of Recording Fund.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
There we go. And it's not like it's but it's not like it's a pyramid scheme, you know? I think a better word instead of shameless self-promotion is intrusive self-promotion.
Ooh, there we go.
Are you intruding on somebody's happiness or enjoyment of their world?
I was scrolling through some TikTok the other day, and I think it's really beautiful to see how much music is on TikTok. But TikTok, it's even the way that they market TikTok. Learn on TikTok, learning with TikTok. And if you scroll, everybody's like, hey, I got this new trick. Hey, I figured this thing out. This is a new song to play in your background that will get you leverage. And there's not as much about it at the current moment that is about listen to this jam or here's who I am as an artist. It seems, you know, that intrusive layer kind of comes with what's the trending thing to try to get people traction, you know, because then we're getting into, you know, what do we want traction for? Well, I guess we all want to get famous, you know. That's kind of that's the bill of goods that we have been sold, you know, get famous on TikTok in one way or another, like selling a product, being a speaker, being, you know, a coach, being a marketer. All of that exists in that same space, you know. And but it is when the companies like the Facebooks and the other, when all their models exist off ad dollars, what do you think people are going to do? The entire model is built to be advertising, which we could then start using. Is advertising intrusive? Some of it's really intrusive. And if everybody is like paying to get their intrusive video into your face, it's like, hey, check out this next great way that I learned how to do this one thing that you're never going to ever use again. You know?
What do you feel? What's your vibe on TikTok as an industry professional?
It's pretty multi-layered.
Is it worth it to get into, you think?
I'll start with what made me really sad the other day as I was swiping through, and I have a hard time. I go through phases as I'm trying to grow the Recording Fund social presence. I will forget about TikTok and this, that, and the other thing, and be over here working on like LinkedIn or this thing, and then be like, oh, I got to go back. So I'll go back and I'm get sucked into swiping. And I think there's so many great talented people on there. But I saw something the other day that made me kind of sad. Was there was an artist talking about, here's how to get millions of streams. Make your song royalty free and then put it up on these sorts of websites. And then you have people just saying, oh, this is great, and put it into these playlists. And there's no universe where I think that just giving it out royalty free in the long run ever makes any sense. And I just don't. We really are. We went in a race to the bottom of rates, and I had a great discussion with a guy at BMI yesterday about how the rates are actually calculated on the social medias. And so we went to a race to the bottom. But then artists who I really don't think most artists, young artists and musicians, have any real clue what their royalties are or what they could be or why we should be fighting for them to be better via streaming services. And then also looking at something like TikTok, but everybody's looking for a funnel, right? And they're using royalty-free music as their funnel to get people to listen to their music. Which I guess I understand that, but man, like, you know, you give that thing royalty free, in 5 years somebody uses it in like a Tesla commercial when they actually start advertising, and then
there's no money.
You
for
have
you.
nothing, and it's a, you know, $500,000 ad campaign that saturates the entire world, you know.
You know, this whole thing, like Steve Weatherby, we were talking about more musicians need to be educated. An acquaintance of Steve and I, Robert Teagarden, who is a professor of Leo and myself, he worked at Universal in publishing, and so he taught music publishing, and so it is just so many musicians do not know that they have the rights to their music, to their intellectual property. It needs to be widely. There needs to be just a broader education for artists and musicians, and that's one of the aspects on the show I was trying to push to was, the songs we write, we'd publish. To this day, we haven't published a single one because we just haven't had the manpower or the time. But it's on my list, like it's there. But after, when I worked at Warner Music, looking at some of these songwriting contracts and just seeing like these songwriters will sign away their royalty rights. They sign away everything because these labels are just going to pay them, $5,000 a month, $5,200 a month or something. And I mean, that's in Nashville. They take it as a monthly salary. Yeah. In LA, it's a yearly. You just take a lump sum for the year.
Lump sum, yeah.
But in Nashville, it's a salary because I think that's a smarter way to look at it. Is, it's your job.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of what you sacrifice when you become those types of songwriters. But
they really need to know their rights. And again, I was talking to a guy named David Street over at BMI yesterday. And I've met like two people that I thought were actually definitive authorities on understanding the back end royalty world. And he is actually one of them. Before I talked to him yesterday, I had met one person in a lifetime of music that I was like, you know it. You have the answers. You are the Oracle. And she literally calls herself the Oracle. But talking to him, we were also talking, one of the things that's going to happen in the next 10 years is that you have an entire generation of musicians that think that the Web3 NFT cryptocurrency world is going to solve the music industry as we know it now. And
through blockchain?
Well, through blockchain, sort of, Ledger 3.0, through the idea that, NFT, you can share, you can write in the royalties of your NFTs as they sell around. But what they're saying is they're just getting on trend and they're saying, oh, it's going to save the world. But they don't even know how the current accounting system, royalties, works through the PROs, through the publishers, through anybody. Yeah. And so it's a real battle of like what you don't know. What will happen is that somebody will come in that Web3 metaverse crypto space. They will be another version of a middleman, and they will take just as much as the middlemen have taken before. It's just, unless we know what our rights are and know how to, be our own publishers or know what are good deals and deals that are a little sideways, everybody's kind of screwed. And I find myself thinking about lots of times artists, very rarely, artists and musicians, we very rarely make good business people. We might have a mindset, we might have a life that exists outside of the studio and microphones and guitars that we're good business people, and we deliver contracts to do big jobs. We can talk about big numbers eloquently, and then you put your artist brain on, and it's like, I write songs. And I really want you to listen to this. Blows my mind.
You'll do whatever you can to put it out there.
You want some blood too? Like, I'll give it to you. Yeah, you'll do whatever. You will just do anything. And I totally resonate with that, and it freaks me out. And I see it as I have conversations about recording fund with people. I see it. I see the cart, like that carrot on the end of the stick sort of thing, how it's like in everybody's heads, and
the thing is too, like, the labels know it's all big talk until Big Daddy Sony comes around, and then you're like, yes, please sign me on. Take my soul. It's
please,
totally...
please, sir, yeah. And back to TikTok,
just a crumb.
Just a crumb. Back to TikTok, and Ari Herstand's been saying this pretty hard, and I think he was quoted in a Vice article talking about this. But what the label model with TikTok is, oh, did you blow up? Well, let's just come in with a lot of money, which is a little amount of money for the label, but let's come in with a lot of money, just buy that rights up. And the artist is like, I've made it. And then they're like, well, yeah, go create that virality again. But then they own the rights to that song. And the labels know how to actually get the money from TikTok.
Oh yeah,
the BMI doesn't. I'm in an email chain that ASCAP says they don't even collect. BMI says they collect on one of the three angles. They collect on performance, but then performance in TikTok is based upon singular use. And so for you to have multiple performances, multiple people need to make videos. So you need like 1 million videos, not 1 million plays on one.
I get what
stream. That is mind blowing. And so the California Copyright Board is actually trying to figure out how to throw some heat at that and come at that. And I'm sure, like David Israelite, I'm sure he's trying to, not like he's not already literally doing David and Goliath with the National Publishers, whatever the association. But
well, the other complication too is TikTok is a Chinese company. I think, and this is not political, this is just something that happened, but Donald Trump signed an executive order that wouldn't allow China to force people to sign away their intellectual property rights for products sold in China. And so, on the surface, that looks like a big victory because you're like, cool, China's got all this, all the knockoff products that they get or all the fake things. Now they can't do that anymore. Then TikTok came around, and TikTok was, oh yeah, music. Here you go. Now we can dip into the, giving up your intellectual property rights for some exposure because everyone wants to be famous. And it's like, they'd come around to it some way, and that's how they did it. So.
Oh my God. I don't know if I've read little bits, but just kind of seen synopsis of what the TikTok distribution deal is. And if there's tons of threads on TikTok, video threads of people saying never get involved with that because they're offering a distribution service now to put your music out. That literally means they absorb your music. You can't get it out of their system.
Oh man.
Right?
Yeah, no,
which I don't think you ever could anyways, but it's one thing to never get it out, but it's in the hands of maybe a publisher that you trust or something, or it's in yours to do that, but then it's in the hands of ByteDance, I don't care whoever they are and whatever they're doing, it's just a shady contract. And it's based off not wanting to deal with any of the payouts, but taking all the money, black boxing all that money.
Man. It's like the only way to maintain integrity and negotiate that kind of deal, or to take it in good faith, would be able to compartmentalize your ability to write music. I write these songs for TikTok, and then I have this whole other stuff that I do for everything else. But it's really hard for an artist to do that unless you're like work for a music library.
Yeah, it's like doing sync music and then having your what is your passion music, It's like, these are songs that sound like they're in commercials. This is my artist project, And I think we've all known a ton of those artists. I have a ton of like side sync projects with artists that I just have made records with for years, and then we were like, well, we should just put together a side project that isn't based off artists hiring a producer and doing a thing, and we're just in it together, and we try to pitch songs to film and television. And you're right, it's a bisection of the creativity. I think that in terms of creativity, that's actually kind of a cool thing to just put your mind into a different space, get to be able to explore different things. But when back to like, what do I really think about TikTok and what it's doing to music? It's crazy. It's both things. It's offered a lot of opportunity, and it's a race to the bottom.
Oh, interesting.
Right? All of the opportunity simultaneously, while we're getting to the point of write jingles, when the labels are telling like Florence and the Machine, like, hey, can you make us some lo-fi cuts? We're like, don't do what you do incredibly well. Like, just do some lo-fi things because those are doing really well right now. And like on Spotify and like, it's weird. And you see all the artists creating faux, maybe real or maybe faux viral moments, saying, well, my label just wants me to make viral videos. I forget the name of the artist. We could look it up. There's an artist in an article maybe in the past 3 weeks. His first single or his first big hit had 1 billion streams. The label won't let him put out his next song unless he can get it to go viral on TikTok.
Oh man, who is that? Sounds.
It's in there. I think if you looked, I'm sure it's all over Music Business Worldwide or any of those other rags.
Trevor Daniel says his label won't let him release music until there's enough buzz. It happened to Halsey, Florence Welch, and others.
Yep.
Is Trevor Daniel? Does that sound right?
Yeah, his last big hit was tons of plays.
Huh.
So you have to be buzzing on TikTok for a label to pick you up, essentially, huh?
He's on a label. His label wouldn't let him put out his next song unless he turned it into a viral moment. So he's on a label, has a proven track record of a huge hit, and his label's like, whoa, I don't know. Same thing with the Halsey. Halsey's had huge hits. Let her put it out.
Man.
And they said, no, you have to create a viral moment on the internet, on TikTok, before we'll let you put that out.
The same label?
That's a good question.
He's under Alamo, RCA, Interscope. That's Universal. Wow. But I wonder if that's Universal making the decision, or no, he's under RCA currently. You used to be under. Okay, he's under Sony. So Sony's not.
They're all doing it. They're
three, man.
All of them are doing it. All of them. It's another. I don't know where I saw the article. It might have been another Music Business Worldwide. It was. I think it was a UK. Somebody of the big three, or one of the layers just right under the top big three, but in the big three. And it was. They were on a panel and they said, yeah, most times we actually are just we're surfing for high stream count and virality to push on an artist or to pick up artists, because but like you know that old adage, it's like, I don't know, it's what it is. It's like, you hang out with the snake and then the snake bites you and you're like, well, why the hell did he bite me? And the snake's like, well, I'm a snake. It's
what
like,
do you think it was gonna do? Yeah.
Not to say that the major labels are snakes. The major labels are doing exactly what they are supposed to do, and they're doing
Making
it
money.
really well. Yeah.
The money's in TikTok. Yeah.
There we go. They are making money hand over fist, and they're doing it really well. And you know who that pleases? That pleases their corporate overlords. Like, you get to the Vivendi level, who's above that. And that's all corporate, that's all shareholder interest. They're publicly traded companies. That's all shareholder interest. That's dividends. That's dollars. That's good stock reports. They're doing that really well, and we should applaud them for it. Great job, guys!
Yeah.
You're just making so much money hand over fist.
Right.
Nailing it.
And I guess the snake is the platform, is TikTok. It's the one that's making these artists sign away their rights, and if that's what they demand, it all goes back to. And this is really going to upset all of our fans in China. It really goes back to just pleasing the Chinese government in that market. And that's whatever they want.
Have you heard the reports that what TikTok looks like in China is it literally looks like education? It's like, here's how to do here's actually how to do things. Here's how to be smart. Like, it's educational. And
that's fascinating.
In the States, we're like, look at that. I just watch Golden Retrievers. I have one account. I have like 3 accounts. One account that is only good dogs. And I just, like, when I need a mood boost, when I'm like, man, this fundraising stuff's crazy, I just look at good old, what a good boy, and people doing stupid things. So
I've been trying not to get into TikTok, but I guess I got to embrace the beast.
Well, just for the dogs. For the dogs, at least.
I'm gonna
that was it,
nothing.
man. For a long time, it was only dogs.
Dogs and wood turning videos. That's all I'm gonna do. Watch on TikTok.
Do never click anything with any, like, you click one wrong thing, you click one attractive person's account, you're just done. You're gonna get all these weird things. Like, the dark side of the internet just is gonna descend on you.
Oh,
your wife's gonna be like, "What are you watching?" You're like,
She was making paninis an episode ago. I don't know.
Yeah.
The last reel?
She was making paninis in a bikini. I don't really understand, man.
Well, why do you have your pawini in your hand?
Yeah, exactly. It's because exactly.
Oh, man.
There was a bikini. There was a string.
This is Leo. Leo's our, he's another member of the team, another co-producer, marketing manager.
Awesome.
What's happening? Not much. I apologize for the delay. I was under the impression we were at 10 o'clock time, but I guess that's 10 o'clock time from Vietnam. But nice to meet you. I'm over here in
nice to meet you, man.
Portland, Oregon. A little bit outside of Portland,
Oregon. I was just outside of Portland. I have some really old good friends. My oldest friend in the world that was living in Joshua Tree for years sold their Joshua Tree house for a fortune. Like they bought it for peanuts, like literally 50 grand. And they bought like an old 1900s schoolhouse in Wilsonville or Butteville, like outside of Portland. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like they're kind of crushing it right now in life. I'm looking at my life going like, what did I do? Why did I get into like nonprofit? You know, what are you guys doing? You're helping, beautiful area.
Helping society. Yeah, Wilsonville is not too far from me. It's about 20 minutes away. There's a lot of Portland Metro. It's kind of like LA. Like LA proper is a very isolated, not small, but like there's more kind of like
it's a specific
thing. Yeah, as opposed to like Portland metro area is kind of like like East LA or Pomona, or like you have a bunch of other, lot smaller, a lot more condensed. It's not as big as like LA, that's for sure. But there's Oregon's gorgeous. There's a lot of
I was like, beautiful. What am I? This is, I mean, that was super, super beautiful. Actually, you know, I give her shit, but she's on our board of directors and she works for the Obama Foundation right now. So it's like, I can't be like, what are you doing? But it was really pretty. And, you know, we popped into Portland here and there. And I think I'll probably spend a lot of time out there because I have a lot of work to do on the house. And I love swinging a hammer. Sure. Pretending like I know what I'm doing. So.
Honestly,
just holes in the roof.
That's it. That's what it is, man. It's YouTube. Just jump on YouTube. I didn't know anything about home construction or remodeling or putting up fans or putting in a dishwasher. Yep. I just jump on YouTube like that. You guys are talking about TikTok.
I've done it all from YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, TikTok too has some great, like, I follow a lot of like handymen or handy people. Let's be equitable.
Yeah.
Handy.
Yeah.
Persons.
Don't follow handy women, but you know, not handsy. I just like
handsy.
Don't
women.
click those, man. Like your account will it'll get weird really quick. Unless that's the sort of account you want. I just would that's why I have multiple accounts.
Yeah, that's the trick to social media, and this is coming from Reddit someone. Approach. You have a bunch of social media accounts. So you have your own personal one that I rarely use my own personal social media stuff, but we have a Just One Song account that, you know, if I want to look at pretty girls, I go on that one and I say, Kurt, why does your algorithm look like that? Pretty girls. I don't think anyone's ever said that sentence specific. Ever. I go on the internet to look at pretty girls.
Yeah.
On the internet to look at twerking.
Look at some chicks. That's what it's. Yeah. Some chicks. No one says that.
Monica, there's a Reddit thread that says that.
Oh, 100%. And we're speaking as cis males over here. Monica, when you go on to what does your algorithm look like on social media? Specifically, you're on TikTok, right?
It's funny because I was going to jump in to say I've avoided TikTok. I did finally download the app, but I've never checked out the For You page. And I have two friends, one girlfriend and one guy friend, that send me TikToks occasionally. And my guy friend will send me comedy TikToks or stupid crypto stuff because he knows I hate it. And then
crypto bro.
And then my girlfriend will send me silly astrology stuff because she knows I don't believe in that and then it annoys me. So people send me annoying stuff on TikTok about astrology or cryptocurrency, which are basically the same thing. And
I was going to say that. I would go as far as say that crypto and astrology are very similar in the kind, not just their belief structure, but I would say the people that follow them are the one and the same, different maybe demographics, but the same kind of tapping into this ethereal mystical thing. Yeah, for sure.
It is. Crypto is kind of like astrology for young white guys. But, on Instagram, I haven't been on Facebook and stuff lately, but my algorithm on Instagram, the kind of sponsored posts I see is really melodramatic, romanticizing depression poetry compilations. There's also there's also parenting tips for having really difficult kids, which Kurt, my oldest has some behavior issues, and
I hope she never listens to this episode.
I also get I get ads for swimwear and just regular fast fashion type stuff, and also resale websites, and then vegan festivals and the thing vegan products. So yeah, my algorithm is very tailored, but it involves like dramatic poetry, parenting, and fast fashion. Which I'm sure looks very different from what you guys see.
I was going to ask you what fast fashion is, and I've heard that term used, but I was hoping you'd say at the end of that, and I also get a bunch of videos of Anthony Weiner not showing his wiener.
Well, what's the point?
That's my favorite serendipitous dick
hit
pic
sooner, you guys.
Political dick pic situation that happened in U.S. history. Like how much more perfect of it? Like you don't even make jokes about it because his name.
I guess it's childish to make jokes.
Yeah, it's built in. It's baked into it.
Yeah. Let's do a pause. And let's give this an actual introduction. Leo, you're fairly quiet compared to the rest of us. I don't know if you can turn up. That.
So the reason why is because of what happened last time. I was peaking on my levels. Not that I was peaking on here, but I think Zoom was. So I'm going to turn the gain up, and I'm just going to keep talking, and tell me when you can hear me.
That sounds a lot better.
Better?
Keep
better?
going, buddy.
I'm going.
Keep going. Oh, Leo,
here we go. Going.
Oh, don't stop, Leo.
Do you like that?
There you go.
Turn it up now.
Because I can adjust your levels from where I'm at.
I can't go to max levels, Max.
All right, I think we're good. Monica, I'm bringing you down.
To the limit. Remember Sports Chalet commercials?
Okay, I do remember Sports Chalet commercials.
Sports Chalet!
We'll take it to the limit.
They were like, Jesus Christ, Brad, that was awesome.
When I was a kid,
don't take the Lord's name in vain.
They opened a new sports chalet in Chino Hills, and Chick Hearn, the announcer for the Lakers, he was there, but he was like 85, and my stepdad was like, "Oh, he's really old," and I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, like he looks scary. You don't want to see him." And I'm like, "What?" And they go, "Yeah, he looks like death." So I didn't see Chick Hearn because I was like 10, and I was so afraid I didn't want to.
Your mom was protecting you. Also, a chalet, that's a white people thing, right? Like chalets.
Sports chalet?
Yeah. Well, no, just chalets in general.
No, I don't go to sports chalet. I go to Dick's. I go to Dick's Sporting Goods.
The brother, the evil, the Wario to Chick Hearn is Dick Byrne.
Dick Richard.
Yeah. Chalets
Richard Byrne.
They are that.
We got
Richard.
We got to give this.
Byrne.